why it's important for us parents to teach our kids, especially our boys, to give a helping hand
Around the house.
around the house. And in general.
In general.
Just helping hands. When somebody is struggling to open the door for somebody. Yeah. What is that? What is that trait?
It's called chivalry.
Chivalry?
That's called chivalry. But, I mean, y'all got a lot of,
Expectation?
No, there's a lot of, what do we want to call it?
Men should open the door?
Women's empowerment these days. With the whole women's equality and, independent women. I mean, some women don't want the door open for them. And then there's both sides of this.
I like the doors open.
Sure. Okay. I mean, you don't walk through doors without me opening them.
Yeah, right.
I mean, by the same token, though, there's some women that are, on the feminist side who don't feel like they need that. So there's really both sides to that.
But anyways, what brought us to this topic is that
I was taking fire in the DMs. Y'all was coming at your boy with why I gotta tell you how to. What were they saying?
Okay, let's go through the comments. There's a lot of gold ones. Ladies, I agree with y'all, okay? Women empowerment, yes. But no, seriously, all the comments, I agree.
On the comment right here, I think more than reading minds, boys need to be raised to clean and cook. Constantly having to say the things that need to be done is exhausting. I agree. It shouldn't be the woman's job to ensure that household things get done by delegating everyday tasks. Cooking and cleaning isn't you.
You want to talk about that one first?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay, cooking and cleaning isn't new. Is that the basis of that, or what part of that you saying?
It's about constantly having to say that things, like constantly, well, you don't have this anymore, but because we talked about it, but having to keep reminding the other person, can you do this? Can you do this?
Right.
Can you do the garbage? And then it doesn't get done. And
right.
That part is exhausting.
But I think the key to what you just said is you don't have to do it anymore, but you had to do it in the beginning.
Yes.
So without doing it in the beginning, how do you arrive at the point where we're at now? Right? I know it's exhausting in the beginning, but it's exhausting doing this with kids. It's exhausting doing it with whatever. If it's something that's a new skill that's being learned, it's going to take time. It's not going to be, I tell him once, and all of a sudden this guy knows how to do that. Given that, this is basic household stuff, but like I mentioned before, this is not stuff that's at top of mind when it comes to most men, especially in a situation where, the man's working and the woman's not, or a situation where, maybe the man's handling the finance side and the woman's not. So there's a lot of different roles, and I think there just needs to be a conversation that's had around what's being delegated, when and where, and who's supposed to do what. At the end of the day, it's a system that needs to be built between the partners. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So, at the same time, it's like, okay, well, the dude's not handling, the dishes, or the cooking and cleaning, but he's handling paying all the bills. If he's handling, running the budget for the month, whatever it is, there's a number of things that it could be. But if that's not at top of mind for him, then there needs to be a conversation that's had. It can't just be like, I told you last week and now I'm mad about it. Right? You don't think it's been helpful for you to just give me reminders and allow me to make this part of the daily routine or the weekly routine?
Well, now, ever since we had a conversation about you doing these things and me having to ask in the beginning, now you're doing them on your own. Mm-hmm. But the thing with me is that I was raised and taught to do things on my own without somebody else telling me to do it. That is ingrained in my brain. Like my mom, my grandma, everyone that raised me, they said, people shouldn't have to ask you to do these things. Like, you ate and that dish should be washed. And that's what I wanted to come back to, that we need to teach our children better.
Because I wasn't taught that way. It was, the dishes need to be washed, but not the dishes need to be washed right now after you eat them. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe a couple days and then the dishes get washed.
Wait, a couple of days?
Yeah, because it was only 2 of us in there. We were eating in the house maybe once a day, so it wasn't like too many dishes. Like, I was gone, he was gone. It was just me and my dad.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're both gone every day, we're both eating breakfast out, we're both eating lunch out, it's just the dinner dishes. So it wasn't like this huge stack of dishes. So if you take that to our house today, like, we're eating at home 5 times a day, both of us, plus our son is eating. So now it's a different thing. Like, that's a totally different scenario than how I grew up. Does that make sense? Does that make more sense? And then laundry is the same thing. It's like, for me, laundry.
I just burped.
But for me, laundry, like I said, it was me and my dad. I had to wash my clothes. He washed his clothes. But I put away my clothes. He put away his clothes. You don't happen to like how I fold my clothes. So that's how I have no problem washing clothes. But I like to wash them my way. But you want them done a certain way. So it's like those kind of things. It's like a have your cake and eat it too type of scenario. It's like, do you want me to help? Yes. Okay, well, I don't like how you helped. It's like, but I did what you wanted me to do, but now you don't like how I did it. So now it's like, well, then you do it. Does that make sense? Same thing with cooking, right? Like, if you cook meals and you're a better cook than me, wouldn't it make sense for you to cook all the meals? If I cook some bullshit and then you're like, what is this? I don't want to eat this. And everybody in the house is mad that I cooked it. Why would I do the cooking?
Okay, pause. So with the laundry, yeah, he would try.
I just do the basic, put it on your chin, fold it in half, fold it over in half, in the drawer it goes. You got this whole, like, what's that woman's name?
Mary Kondo.
Yeah, so I'm not. That's just not what how I like to fold it.
But now he said, how do you like the laundry wash? Like, what are the steps? Like, break it down for me so I can do it and take it out of the plate. See, that is really good. But what the ladies are just upset about is because it's generalization. Is that what it's called? That a lot of men just have those traits. It's just they don't help around. And there's some men that is not even the breadwinner. That's not even the one that provides, but doesn't take care of the kid, doesn't do anything in the house.
Now that's a problem. That's a big problem. Because if you aren't the provider, you're not working, and you're not doing shit around the house, and you're not taking, then it's like, okay, well, now what are you doing at this point? That is a huge issue. But what about on the other side? Right? If the man is working and the woman's not, if she has, toddlers or kids that aren't going to school, fine, I get it. But if the kids are of school age, the kids are going to school, the man's at work, who should do that? Get off the woman empowerment, get off, just out of fairness, who should do that?
Well, if I wasn't working and he's working, like he's the main provider, listen, baby, this house would be spotless. Like, if that's all I had to do was cook and clean the house, like, and bills are taken care of, like, I'm going shopping, living my best life, like, listen, he would come home.
But that's fair though, right? Isn't that fair?
Yeah, but then I still need help. Like, obviously, I still would need help.
But
with
I would,
what?
when I'm feeling tired.
See, but that's a time management issue. That's your morning time, nighttime. What's your wake up routine? That's that issue. That's
but
not
obviously, like, taking care of the kids too.
Of course, they're both you guys' kids. That's fair. But I'm talking about strictly house, whatever you want to call it, chores, cooking,
taking out the garbage?
cleaning. taking out whatever you want to call it. Like you lift weights, you can carry that bag outside. I mean, I know typically it's a man's job, but in the scenario we're talking about, it's a hypothetical. Why couldn't you take out the trash?
I be taking out the trash.
Because I don't want to get dirty or whatever. I mean, whatever it is.
Listen, I be taking out the.
I'm just saying in the hypothetical that the man's working, kids are at school, woman's not working. What's the argument there? Y'all hear that? I think we can go on to the next one.
Okay. All right. City girls down. Just kidding. No, but
I know it's I don't know. Call it I mean, I don't know how you call it unfair. How do you call that unfair?
because being a mom and being a mom, being a stay-at-home mom is a 24-hour job.
What do you mean?
24/7.
What do you mean? Please tell me what you mean.
Just a mental load. Just a mental
Okay,
load.
first of all, infants, toddlers, breastfeeding, whole deal, got you. Kids are at school, not a 24-hour job. Definitely not do not give me that. It is not a 24-hour job. The kids are at school. They go to school at 8 o'clock.
I guess, see, listen, if I didn't work, if I am not working and Lil was at school.
There's an 8-hour window there for you to, don't tell me you're just sitting there like, oh, I'm just thinking about my kids.
But if we, like, since we were both working, our job is like it's what is this? I can't say it's 50-50. It's like we give and take from each other.
Sure. We've had multiple conversations. I think that's my whole point about any of this, whatever the comments are, is that there needs to be a conversation and some delegation. Like, I'm going to take this, you take that, I'm going to take this, you take that. That type of deal.
But
without that, then it's just like, then you're stuck in a situation where one person wanted the other person to do something and they didn't know, and the other person was focused on doing something else, and they thought this was going to be done, and then it turns into this whole...
I think the main argument was just having to constantly tell the other person to do something over and over again, and they're just not learning, and I think that's the men's fault.
But I'm just generalizing. I'm not saying all men are like this, but there's a lot of women that I hear from a lot of women that they say their partner is that. It's like they keep telling the partner to do something and they are not just doing it. And
I would think, I would agree with you.
Very, very frustrating. And I see why the comments have said that.
I've seen that too.
There's so many issues like that. And I think that was just the argument. And I necessarily don't think that they're coming for you.
Yeah.
It was
I
just generalization.
Yeah. And in those situations, I would say too, like, it is on, like, if you're being told over and over and over again, it is on the man to then take action and figure out how you're going to arrive at some type of resolution.
To be on
not
the same
just
page.
like blowing it off and just being like, yeah, whatever. Like that's a huge problem.
Yeah. Because with this thing, we are now on the same page.
Yeah. Right.
Same page podcast.
Plug.
Okay. The next one.
No, there was another one there that you had, right?
What?
There was another comment there that you had.
Hold on. Let me just do not disturb.
Wasn't you talking about why do men get glorified for?
Oh, it's not a comment, but this is a topic that I brought to Khalil because I'm like, why do men get? I think it was one of the comments. Why do men get glorified for doing basic shit that woman does? Like, why do when men? I see this on TikTok all the time. When the husband does the changing the diapers or washing the dishes or doing the laundry or cleaning the house, it gets glorified. It gets praised so much. But when a woman does it, it's just the norm. Like, yeah, she's just doing what she's doing. But if it's the men, it's like, oh, that's so sexy. That's so sexy that the man is cleaning.
That's like what I've just been seeing.
Okay, so first of all, I understand like the generation that we're in, but to the rest of the world, like that's a new thing.
It
like,
is.
That's very much.
I guess.
It's a new thing. Like in the 50s, like y'all wasn't even working in the 40s and 50s. You couldn't even have a job.
I wasn't born yet.
Right? Yeah, of course you weren't born yet, but still people think that was so long ago. Like it wasn't that long ago. Like those people are still alive and they raised the people that are under them, who are the people that raised us.
Yeah, listen, my Lola, housewife, and she literally is, I was raised by her too, so she was taught, like, she said every morning she irons my Lolo's clothes, like have the meals ready for him when he wakes up. My grandma wakes up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, cooks the breakfast, and by the time my Lolo wakes up, everything is already ready. She cleaned the house at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Damn, my man was living the dream, boy. Jeez.
He was.
Could you imagine? Just, but still.
My grandma told me, she said, when you become a wife one day, you need to do these for your husband.
Okay, so hold on, time out.
No, but...
Time out. So how are you confused how this is being glorified then? You literally just told me.
Because we live in a world of equality.
But you just told me your grandma was the one telling you that.
Yeah, but then like, but now I'm like, why do I get to do why can't I be treated like a queen?
Okay, but you said now that you're saying that. So all the glorification going on are people who were also raised by people that are exactly like your grandma. So years and years of that being just like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. And then a man is doing it and they're like, oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Like what he said, it's new.
Okay, hold on. Imagine for a second. And we should probably get your grandma on the phone for this. If you called her on the phone and you said, Grandma, I'm not doing any of that stuff. Like,
she was gonna
he's doing all of it.
She would glorify the shit out of him and she would call me, Burara, samlang, babaeng puke. Oh my God.
No idea what you said at all. Sounded, I don't know what that means.
She would literally cuss me the fuck out. My grandma would cuss me out and she would fly over here and be like, what the hell have I?
Okay, so then there's no confusion then about why this is being glorified then?
No, but it's just, I guess I just answered.
Yeah, you 100% answered your own question. So there's multiple generations of that. And your mom probably fits in the same, category.
Oh my God, listen, my mama, she works, she cooks, cleans, does the laundry, and literally does this with joy. To my dad. My dad doesn't have to do anything. My dad is taken care of.
Okay, so there's no confusion then.
But this is my culture.
Okay, but so there's no confusion then.
Things are different now.
Yes, things are different now, but that's what I'm saying. Like, times have to be caught up. Like, I'm sure for Lil, when he grows up, that's not going to be a weird thing.
What do you mean that's not going to be a weird thing? Like him doing the dishes?
Yeah, it's not going to be like this glorified thing because it's going to be the norm.
Listen, I'm going to teach my baby how to cook, clean, take care of a woman, you know?
Okay, first of all, how do you know how to take care of a woman?
Because I'm a woman.
Have you ever taken care of a woman?
I've taken care of myself.
No, I take care of you. First of all, no. I will teach him how to take care of a woman.
Yes,
Come on.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, you taking care of me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Right? Yeah.